It's usually the conservative right-wingers in America who defend the Second Amendment, and they claim that gun ownership is good for society. Well, if you want everyone to believe that, you MAGA people need to disavow and shun the incel misogynists associated with the right who glorify the use of guns to threaten or harm women. There are indeed responsible gun owners in America who don't find entertainment to using guns and would only use them for absolute necessity to hunt for food and to defend themselves and other people from violence. On the second level, you have all these gun-toting rednecks who look forward to using guns and think guns are so cool and brag about how it makes them an American patriot and how it makes them so masculine, but they haven't committed any crimes yet. On the last level, you have all these evil people, overwhelmingly males, who want to use guns for evil purposes, which includes criminals, gangsters, domestic abusers, and these misogynistic incel terrorists. You conservative American men who really care about the Second Amendment and are not a part of incel ideology seriously need to disavow and shun the men who are misogynistic incels who are associated with the right because they are not making the Second Amendment nor conservatives look good by threatening to kill what they call foids, threatening to shoot them, celebrating when women get shot either on YouTube or incel sites, praising mass shooters like Elliot Rodger, and taking pictures holding up guns like this Lucas Neff Trelane young man who threatened women last year. He's an incel who is associated with right-wing ideology, and he has said kill all foids, and that is a credible threat because he has access to guns in his house like you see here. The FBI confronted him. He should be condemned by the general public, but instead I see plenty of conservatives in the comments of the FBI video saying he shouldn't be arrested and that this is a violation of his First Amendment right to free speech. First of all, free speech does not cover credible threats of violence and murder. Secondly, these men who threaten to shoot women or find entertainment in women getting shot don't deserve any rights, not the First Amendment nor the Second Amendment. These men should be put in prison as soon as possible. They are the lowest of the low who deserve to be skinned alive. But those are the type of misogynists who are common within right-wing spaces in America. If you were truly an American patriot, you wouldn't support their right to terrorize half of the population, the more vulnerable half that are less of a physical threat at that. If you conservatives in America allow these misogynistic incels and evil people in general to proliferate within your movement, that will only give justification for the left to reverse what you worked for once they get into power again, and to even eventually get rid of the Second Amendment. Mark my words, if you don't kick out and shun these incels and these abusive men from your movement, liberals will use that to say, wow, these people who defend the Second Amendment sure are terrible people. They aren't people who genuinely believe in self-defense. They aren't using their guns against violent criminals or terrorists, but their own wives or people who are no threat in general, such as the women in everyday life, just because they have problems with dating, and not because their safety was being threatened. Let's be real. When men use guns against women, it's almost never in self-defense. It's almost always for malicious purposes. And women definitely don't deserve it. They don't deserve all this misogyny in general, and you should agree with me even if you support the First and Second Amendment. Even if you don't like women's hypergamy, women have never committed a mass shooting against men, nor do they threaten to commit mass shootings against men online. So men shouldn't be doing those things to women either. If you truly want to support the Second Amendment, you should be trying to create a culture where guns are only to be used when absolutely necessary. You should be teaching young people, particularly boys, that guns should only be used for defending yourself and others or to hunt for food, and that you shouldn't look forward to using a gun. And you shouldn't think that they are cool.